Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central.
From Studio A in the Texas Sugar Shack, this is the award-winning In Wheel Time car talk show. Just ahead, we visit with Scott Hoke from Indianapolis, Indiana. We're going to talk about the upcoming Houston, Texas Mecum auction. That's coming your way here in just a few weeks. Also, I'll give you my thoughts on driving the 2025 Mazda CX-70 plug-in hybrid SUV. And Jeff has the Motor Minute in this segment of the In Wheel Time car talk show. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world Mars, literally. We always need more Jeff Zekin, Chief Engineer David Ainsley. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us today. Let's go right to Indianapolis right now with our live hot microphone. And ladies and gentlemen, here he is, Scott Hoke. Did you like, how was that for an introduction?
I think the microphone is flattered that you called it a hot microphone. Morning, guys.
Good morning. It's great to talk to you. We've never met before, but I read your bio. And quite impressed. You've had a long career in broadcasting, sir.
You know, I'm very blessed. I started back when I was in high school. We had a very, very good radio station program at Ben Davis High School and here in Indianapolis. And I jumped in. I needed an elective. My guidance counselor said, why don't you try this radio class? And it was a complete God moment. I walked in the door, and I still remember this, fellas, like it happened last week.
Yeah.
I walked in the door, and I saw this kind of a makeshift introductory studio, and I thought, it was like Tim Robbins in Shawshank, you know, when he comes out of the tube. Right. Exactly how I felt. And, you know, that was 1979, and here we are, long time after that, and still doing it, still loving it.
Well, it's a pure miracle at our age and our time, because almost all of the radio people that I worked with throughout the years have all either gotten fired, retired, or died.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some of them, more than one of those, you know,
yeah,
fired and retired and then fired again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. And now our chief engineer, as a matter of fact, works for a group of radio stations, and we sit and we talk about it. And I said, so how many people are in the station? He says, there's nobody there. I said, what? There's nobody there. All the jocks do it from their own home, what few jocks we have. And the sales department all works from home. Nobody comes into the station anymore. So, well, why do you even have an address? He says, because of the FCC.
True.
Yeah,
Very
and
true.
It's a very strange thing. Well, you know, we obviously have a lot in common with our love for cars and broadcasting, and so here we are meeting for the first time, and I hope you're looking forward to Houston. It's going to be hot, and I'm sure that the auction's going to be hot as well.
You know, I love coming to Houston. We've been there. I've lost count of how many years in a row that we've been in Houston, but I always love going there and, you know, being in the shadow of the Astrodome and that little bit of history. But it's all about the cars when we're there. And like I tell everybody, no matter where we go, it's the best car show that you'll ever attend, because, you know, you're probably going to find something or see something that you've never seen before, or maybe it's been a really long time. And you might even see something that you had no idea even existed. And that's part of what makes Mecum so attractive. It's about the nostalgia, absolutely, and we're talking about the memories that we all have of our cars, or our dad's cars, or our grandfathers, or even the kid down the block, what they were driving in high school. I remember one of my basketball teammates in high school actually drove an old taxi cab to school. That was
cool.
That was his daily driver, and it still had the light on top. And it was hilarious, but that's the memories. That's some of the memories that we have.
Well, you know, like I've said many shows ago when we started working with Mecum and promoting the show, not only is it an auction, which is the number one thing, but it's also a car show. And there's
Absolutely.
no other car show out there like it. And you and I both have been to car shows all of our lives. But this is one that is very different from all of the rest. Like you'd pay to enter your car, and you'd have your car judged. Well, this is judged in a different way, and that's by your pocketbook.
Yes, it is. That's very, very true. And it's that mixture, that car show. People can come out to the show and have a great time and never raise their hand to bid on an automobile. And that's okay. I mean, sure, we'd love to have more folks bidding. That's good for business. But you know what? It's about that nostalgia. And maybe somebody's never been to an auction before, one of our auctions. They come out and they see what it's like. And I've seen this happen so many times. They get hooked. And the next year we come to their venue, now they're a registered bidder, or they want to sell a car. It's a lot of fun, and people get hooked. People love coming to the show and seeing it on television. And I will point out too, fellas, what you see on television is completely different from the experience in person. You've got to be there in person to really get the sense of what a Mecum auction is all about.
I was just going to say that very same thing. Yes, you have to be there. It's different. It's kind of like going into a television studio and you go, this is how they do the newscast? I had no clue it was like this way. Same kind of thing.
You get in there and you get to the cameras, you get the lights, you get the action, you get the sound of people talking amongst themselves, but then you got the auctioneer going on and talking about the cars, coming in, coming out. I mean, it's like going into a Las Vegas casino if you've never been in one. It's just stuff to look at everywhere.
Yes. And, even at our small auctions, Kansas City, for example, it's a small auction by design because the convention center only holds X amount of cars and there's no parking around the street. So it's all confined to one room in this convention center. And even at 700 or so cars, you can still get lost and spend the entire day looking at those cars. You get into a situation like Indianapolis, 3,500 cars, Kissimmee, 4,000, 4,500 cars. You will not be able to see it all.
No,
maybe the entire week.
Yeah, because if you go to someplace like Autorama, everybody's got their stand set up. They got their mirrors under their cars, and they are taking up a 20 by 20 space. Well, in that 20 by 20 space, you may have 5 cars in there that people can get up and look at. Can't climb all over them, obviously. But if you want to look underneath it, you can get down on the floor and look underneath it.
Absolutely.
It's a completely different type of show that just takes it to the next level.
Every year we have, some sort of a collection that you guys bring to Houston that it piques the interest of so many. Either they pick and choose or buy the whole collection. You got anything like that going on this year?
Yes, absolutely. And in fact, there are, even as I look at it now, there are a half a dozen different collections that are coming to Houston in just, what is this, 3 weeks, I think, is
4 weeks. Yeah, 4 weeks. Yep.
Third, fourth, and fifth. So there are half a dozen collections, and that is really something that Mecum has focused on. And I think the collectors enjoy bringing a collection to the auction as well. We love to showcase what an individual has made maybe his life's work. I remember our most recent event was our motorcycle auction in Las Vegas, and we had a collection of way over 100 motorcycles from a guy by the name of Urban Hirsch, legendary in the printing industry. He was like the ink king, not tattoos or anything like that, but he supplied the LA Times with all the ink to print the newspapers for many, many, many years. So he had the opportunity to amass this collection of, like I said, more than 100 motorcycles, one of which became the first ever $1 million motorcycle that we sold, that has ever been sold at anybody's auction. And so, the collections are a very, very big part of what we do at Mecum every time. And
I know that you know of Gene Winfield, who passed away here just a few weeks ago. And I would imagine some of the cars that he has built over the decades that he's been in the business, that the value of those have gone through the roof now that he's passed. And I would like to think that sooner or later, some of those are going to wind up in the Mecum auction.
It's funny because it wouldn't be the first time. I mean, we've had cars with Gene's DNA in them before, and I would presume that we will have them again. And yes, his name has been mentioned many, many times over the years, and I was certainly sad to see that he had passed away a few weeks ago, like you said.
Yeah. So what do we have to look forward to this year at Mecum Auction? You got any specifics?
Well, are you talking in terms of just Houston or in terms of the entire season?
Well, let's talk about Houston, since that's what we're all since we're Houstonians here, and that's the one that we're more familiar with. Right. You know, I would imagine that it's going to be a smattering of collections and also individuals that are selling there at Mecum. Give us some insight, whatever you've got. You know,
every auction that we do has kind of its own personality, and we've learned that over the years. For example, Monterey, a little bit later this year in August, completely off the chart. There are going to be more Ferraris and Porsches than there are Camaros and Corvettes, and that's always the case. An auction like Houston is going to be more right down the line, the bread and butter of what has made Mecum Auctions the world's largest collector car auction, and that is traditional American muscle cars, and we will have those in droves. And a lot of, as you might expect, being in the part of Texas where you are, a lot of pickup trucks, a lot of off-road vehicles. Those are always popular in Houston and Dallas. But I was actually looking at a little bit of the inventory, and one that it really caught my attention, just jumps off the page at me, is a 63 Chevy II Nova convertible. It's a beautiful color. It's a resto mod, dark blue, and kind of a baseball glove leather interior. We've got a lead sled. We've got a bunch of Corvettes, including 2019 ZR1, 1 year only. That's going to be big money. And we also have one of the second generation Ford GTs, 2005, 2006. And you can always peg those cars as early contenders for a top seller at any event. The values on those 05, 06 Ford GTs they were soft for a little bit, but they've come back and they are very, very strong. It's so much good stuff, man. I don't know if we have enough time to talk about all of it.
Scott, I got a question for you, Scott. In the past, it's either been a buyer's market or a seller's market. What do you see coming up this year in 2025 and the auctions you've done already this year for this season? What do you see it as? Is it a buyer's market or a seller's market, or does it depend on the city?
You know, a lot of it does depend on the city. That's a great question. And a lot of it depends on the economic climate. We were all kind of, last year wondering in an election year what was going to happen. And I think as we go through this calendar year, this is actually only our second car auction. Or actually, by the time we get to Houston, it'll be the third. Mm-hmm. It's kind of, I think it's going to be a buyer's market, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Well, hey, let's get together in August or September, and we'll go.
We'll need a little more information.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm thinking, we'll have to schedule drinks after this Houston auction with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, the drinks may dictate whether it is a buyer's market.
Do you ever find yourself wanting to bid on something, or maybe have somebody on the sideline? Or what is in your collection?
Do you have a collection?
I don't. My eyeballs are bigger than my budget at the moment. But I do have. I've been very close to buying something. Buying several cars in the past. It just hasn't worked out for me. And that's okay. When the time is right, I'll
jump in.
I will add one to my list of purchased vehicles. But yeah, it's not for a lack of obviously inventory in front of me. And I'm trying to think over the course of 18 years, I think only one time did any of us actually even bid on a car while we were on the air, and this has been a long, long time ago, and it was unsuccessful. I do remember that. But yeah, it's when I have guests come to the show or invite anybody to come to the show, I always tell them, be careful who you wave at because you might buy a car.
Exactly. All I can think of right now is to ask you is that since you fly all over the United States, what is your favorite rent car?
My favorite rental car. Wow. You know,
does it make any difference to you?
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay. I'm just checking.
I got stuck last year, and I won't tell you where it was, but I actually forgot to make my rental car arrangements until the very last minute.
So right now I'm thinking trains, planes, and automobiles.
Oh, well, it was worse than that.
Oh, Lord.
I ended up getting stuck. I went with the manager special. Bad mistake. And I ended up getting a complete 100% plug-in electric vehicle.
Oh, God. Yeah. How'd that work out for you?
Well, not great.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it wasn't a large venue, and I didn't have to drive a lot back and forth from the hotel. And fortunately, there was a charging station at the airport that I could use to charge up. And I'm glad I got there early because it took 90 minutes. I want to say my car was at 60% when I brought it back to the airport. It took 90 minutes to recharge that 40%. And I'm thinking those 90 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
No.
Exactly. So, well, we're looking.
I will say this to answer your question. I don't mind driving a Challenger or a Charger. Love that. Mustang every once in a while, but it's sometimes dependent on the inventory, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, Mecum Auction coming up here in just about 3-4 weeks, Mars?
Yeah, 4 weeks from today.
4 weeks from today. So we look forward to seeing you at the Mecum Auction this year, sir. And it's great to have you.
I will love to meet you guys in person, and we'll talk more cars when that time comes. And thank you guys for having me.
We can
I appreciate
do that.
it very much.
It's a real pleasure, Scott. Take care of yourself.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
You bet.
Just ahead, a review of the 2025 Mazda CX-70 and Jeff's Motor Minute. All that and more right after this quick break.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com.
Hey, come along with us on the upcoming Hot Rod Tour of Texas, April 24th through the 27th, beginning in Victoria, Texas. We have links to the site on InWheelTime.com and the InWheelTime Facebook page. Be sure and follow us there. All right, time now on the InWheelTime Show for the Motor Minute? Mr.
We've
Jeffrey?
got new subscribers, folks, all of you out there in Wheel Time Land. We've got Ava Hickel. Thank you, Ava, for joining and being
Pickle rhymes with pickle.
That's right. And then we've got Hazel Langish, and we've got Steve Secco. I hope I'm pronouncing all your names correctly because I did go to public school. So thank you for that. We're going to put everybody's name in a drawing, and whoever wins, Mike's going to come to your house and cook your breakfast.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I
Maybe a little
want
kiss
that,
on the
but-
cheek to wake you up.
Okay,
and all
well,
that,
that's
so.
fine. What do you got in the Motor Minute?
That's it. That was the Motor Minute.
Oh, that's the Motor Minute.
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was anything motoring about that
Well,
minute.
there's all new subscribers for In Wheel Time.
Oh.
Yeah, we're welcoming.
I have to
the
be
people.
educated.
We're welcoming all
in
these
some of this
people in here.
stuff.
Mike and I get these, so we kind of plan that.
Yeah, y'all work behind my back.
We do
I have
a lot.
no clue what's
you
going
should
on.
see it back there.
Time now for this hour's car review. I had a chance to drive the 2025 Mazda CX-70. Final assembly location in Hofu, Japan. Available trim levels, 3.3 turbo. The preferred, then the premium plus, the 3.3 turbo S premium, the PHEV premium, and the premium plus.
Spit it out.
Now, have you got all that? You're supposed to have
Can we
memorized
start
all
I'm trying
that.
to take
that
notes
one.
over here.
I had the PHEV Premium Plus, which is the top of the line. This is a standard SUV, according to your government. That's what they classify it as. PHEV means plug-in hybrid electric, if you were wondering. Seats 5 people. It's all new for $25. It slots between the 50 and the 90, CX50 and CX90. It's basically a 90 without the third row. Does that make sense to you? The 90 is the third row.
Right.
Same vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's good though, because a lot of people like me don't like to have that third row in that size of vehicle.
Well, you know what? If you got kids, if you do a lot of, taking the baseball team to practice and all that stuff, that's great.
Absolutely.
But for us old men,
or the grandkids are older and they don't like that little small seat and won't get
you still
back
have
there.
grandkids around?
Yeah, still got.
How old are the
Yeah.
grandkids now?
Youngest one's 18 now.
So he's not a kid anymore.
Well, they're
Just
still
saying.
they're still in school,
They
so
still
I
act
consider
like
them
one.
kids. Yes.
This has what is considered a melting copper metallic exterior, copper, and the interior is red Napa leather. Now think about that for a minute. We have a copper exterior and a red leather interior.
Sounds European.
What?
Sounds European.
I know I'm old school. I'll admit that. But I'm thinking, okay, the black is the only other color available. So I was thinking, maybe something of a tannish or whatever. This doesn't offer that.
Sounds luxurious.
Exterior features, beautiful sheet metal design. It's easy to look at, easy on the eyes, well balanced with signature Mazda grille, great big thing in the middle of it. Smooth, conservative rear hatch design. Wheels coincide with the trim level. Big and beautiful, baby, big and beautiful. What I liked the conservative styling. What could use improvement? Nothing. I mean, the thing looks good. Interior highlights, beautiful quilted look seat stitching, has a luxury look to it. High quality interior trim pieces include faux wood and a patterned metal finish. Standalone infotainment still is more complicated than it needs to be. Clamshell center console is nice, departure from the usual stuff. Cargo and trunk room, well, the cargo room, it's big back there. CX-70 only offered in the 2-row seating, so plenty of room here. Space for luggage and golf clubs back there. You can have a party back there, is what I'm saying. Sit Indian style.
Oh, yeah.
It's all good. What I like, the overall high zoot design and materials. What could use improvement? Deep red leather interior does not dance well with the copper exterior. That's my opinion. 2.5 liter inline 4-cylinder engine with a plug-in hybrid system. Together, it gets 323 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. Transmission, it's an 8-speed automatic. Tow rating, 3,500 pounds, which is pretty good for this thing.
Yeah.
Manufacturer's miles per gallon rating, up to 56 miles per gallon when you have the battery charged. But remember, this is a plug-in hybrid electric, so you got to plug it in to charge it up. It doesn't run off the engine like some of the others. Without that, it gets 25 miles per gallon. I got 28 over 417 miles, 28 miles per gallon over 417 miles.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. But I didn't plug it in. Oh, well. What I liked, it only goes 26 miles on electric only. I don't know why I put that under the what I liked, because it's not much. So you have to ask yourself, is it worth it for the extra charge to have a plug-in hybrid to only go 26 miles on the electric only? Follow me?
Yep.
Yeah. How much does it cost for that extra 26 miles?
Yeah. Over the just standard gasoline motor.
That's getting 23 miles to the gallon.
25.
25.
Okay. What could use improvement? Under certain scenarios, transmission didn't know what to do at times. Turbo lag became annoying at times. Ride and handling, sports car-like handling, that whole Mazda thing, right through all of the different models of Mazda's lineup. What could use improvement? Adjustable damping. That would be nice. Ride's a little stiff, but it's a sporty kind of ride, which is what Mazda is really all about. Base trim price, $57,450. Price is tested $59,275, but you can get into the gasoline-only model for, drum roll, $40,445, which I think is really good for the gasoline-only model. Competitors, Honda Passport 42.4, that's a gasoline-only model. Jeep Grand Cherokee 60,490 for their PHEV, and the Subaru Outback only goes for $29,010, but it's a gasoline-only version. So there were very few to compare it head-to-head to. That's why I kind of put them all there into the same category, because they are all two rows. But this one is a large cargo area back there in the two-row. So that's my review of the 2025 Mazda CX-7.
Perfect.
Did you like it?
I liked it.
Mars, did you have this car yet?
Not yet.
You'll be getting it on Friday night next week at 10:30 at night.
Why so early?
Well, just because I hate for the guys to have to go all the way back to Dallas at 10:30 at night, so I'll try and get it a little as early as I can.
You could offer to put them up. Let them spend the night over there in Neederville. It'd be an experience for them.
I don't think Alba's going to pay them that much.
You could sit out and listen to banjo music. It'd be great.
Oh, yeah. Out back. Get the barbecue pit out.
Do you have banjo players over there?
We could probably find some. Let me just say.
Oh, my God. If you dare want to get in touch with us, you know what you're going to be subjected to now. Shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. It's time now for a quick break on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
All right.
Are you on board?
Yeah.
What shirt are you wearing today?
I'm wearing my bull shirt.
He's got a bull shirt. Boy, that's a nice one.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's a nice shirt.
It's a nice shirt.
Maybe we can get some new shirts one of these days.
Yeah, they'll be in next week. They're actually done.
Are they like that?
No, ours are made out of copper.
Man.
Copper.
I got the copper on the mind now.
Apparently so. In Real Time Talk Show continues after this.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. It's time for the 47th Annual Corvette Chevy Expo in Galveston, Saturday and Sunday, March 15th and 16th at the Galveston Island Convention Center. This premier indoor event features iconic Chevrolets, from classic Camaros to America's sports car Corvette. See over 135 displays, automotive vendors, and unique finds at the expansive swap meet. You'll also see the all-handmade Galveston Craft Show, featuring over 100 local artisans. Be part of this Chevy celebration, March 15th and 16th. For tickets, visit CorvetteChevyExpo.com.
Mecum Auctions, the world's largest collector car auction company, returns to Houston, April 3rd to the 5th at NRG Center. Join us for the fun, fast-paced, high-energy Mecum experience with 1,000 vehicles up for grabs. For avid collectors, first-time buyers, and enthusiasts of all ages, there's something for everyone. Bring home your dream car. Register to bid and buy spectator tickets now at Mecum.com.
That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.